Hey guys, today we are unboxing a Highwood Lee porch swing. This is a 4-foot version in the color of white. There's multiple colors that you can choose from, but this is what we wanted to match our front porch. So just going through and unboxing this, taking all the stuffing out, whatnot. Since I was assembling this on a hard, rough surface like concrete, I just took the box and used it to lay the porch swing on so that it would not get damaged. This is the hardware and instructions that came with it. The instructions are only 2 pages. There's not a whole lot to it. Also came with a little pamphlet with some of the other products that they carry. Lee is the collection, and so there are several different things that you can purchase: tables, rocking chairs, whatnot. So that's all in this little pamphlet. So if you wanted to match the porch swing, you could. The hardware came with an Allen wrench is what I call it, hex key. It's a 5 32 inch. 3 different types of bolts, and they're A, B, and C. And I will tell you some information about some of those. For whatever reason, the hex key did not fit in some of the bolts correctly. They didn't seat very well, so it was a little frustrating. You'll see me struggling with that a little bit. But here I'm just laying it out so that I can put it together a little bit easier. Those back braces at first were a little difficult for me to understand where they were supposed to go. Another tip that'll save you a few seconds and some frustration: if you notice the back of the swing as it's sitting, leaning up there, there are bolt holes. Make sure that those bolt holes are facing out, because those braces have to fit into those holes. So there's a tip. These back supports look like they'll go like this. So they'll kind of connect right in here. This is where you're going to see me struggle with those braces. As long as you have those holes lined up, you should be fine. You could, if you notice, there's holes on the back. Those go into the back, and then there's also holes on the sides. So those should just line up. And you'll see where I'm struggling here, but as long as you line those holes up, you should be good. Alright, full disclosure, here's where I get this awkward, the realization that this thing's turned around the wrong way. This is why I record the whole thing, so you can see this and not make the same mistake yourself. I'm sure if I had read all the directions prior to doing the installation, I wouldn't have had this much trouble, but like a lot of men, I mean, who needs directions, right? Typically I do read directions, but these were just pictures, so I figured it's just like putting together a Lego set, right? So I'm just sorting out the bolts here. The first ones that I will attach are the A bolts, and those are on each end. It requires 2, one at the top, one at the bottom on both ends, and that is the first step to the assembly. These ones I was able to hand tighten, or at least get them to a certain point, and then I would just torque them down a little bit with the hex key. So now on to the B bolts for the braces. These were a pain. The A's was able to hand tighten a little bit and then torque. These ones I could barely even get the bolt in and tighten with my hand, and the hex key did not fit properly into the head. So these were very painful and I struggled with them. I should have just gotten one of my own hex keys to see if I could fit better, but I struggled and finally got it in. Just letting you know ahead of time.
Either B. And then A.
And here begins the dreaded B-bolt struggle. Suffer through this. You're almost there. But beware. It will be frustrating. Okay, so now we're going to attach the braces to the back using the two C bolts. These were not very difficult to hand turn, and then I just torqued them down with the Allen key. Now moving on to the arms. So I'm just laying them out here. The arms are going to require A bolts and B bolts. So there's going to be one A bolt on the top of the arm and then two B bolts on the bottom of the arm. Alright, so here's a side view. If you can see, there's a piece of cardboard here that is covering up the two holes. So we're just going to remove the strap and that piece of cardboard to get to it easier. To have more room, I just moved this chain over to the side. So you're going to want to line up the holes for the arm, and using the two B bolts, attach the bottom of the arm to the seat. These were not too difficult to hand screw to start, but now I am attaching the top of the arm using the A bolt to the back of the seat. Just line up the hole and hand tighten, and then I will go back and torque up all the bolts. And the B bolts strike again. Just difficult getting that hex key seated into the head, so a little frustrating there. Alright, now I've flipped the bench over and we're going to repeat the same process on this side, removing the cardboard. Alright, I've turned it and I'm going to move the chain so that we have a little bit more room there, just like we did on the other side. Just going to line up the holes. Start with the B-bolts. So I turned the camera here so that you can get a better view at what I'm talking about on these B-bolts, how frustrating it is to try to get those seated. And you can see I try to put it in there and it just does not seat properly. So, frustrating, but we'll move on. I've kind of exhausted that topic. I am sorry, but you will be frustrated. Let's go ahead and get this thing hung up.
Now the moment of truth. Will it hold this? And will we fall crashing to our deaths? Most likely not death, but maybe a broken femur or a leg. You're cool with that? If we lose a leg or something?
Not really.
I'm joking. All right, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see how this goes. So our porch is has a 10-foot high ceiling. So obviously it's a little bit higher.
Alright, here's the finished product. I added 10 inches of length to the chain so it doesn't sit so high up from the ground. We really enjoy this swing. It looks like it's going to last us several years and we're not going to have to keep painting it. If this video was helpful to you, please hit like and subscribe. I've put links to the product in the description. I am a noob at this, so please share some feedback. Don't be too harsh with me. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.